What's up guys, today we are going to make the logic for the access token and refresh token into the UI. Firstly, what I want to do, we are going to have to create that route for the login part. So we need a new page. On this page we can call it, first let's make the path. So the path is going to be equal to login, and the component is going to be login, and this one can be registered too, but let's call it out. Okay, that's okay, and out. Okay, and now we need to create a page. So new file out.javascript. And here we are going to have a function. So function out, and this one is not going to get any prop, but is going to return the page for the authentication. Okay, I would like to use some bootstrap here, but to create the page for the authentication, so the login or register, and I would like to use bootstrap for this one. So you can go to Google and search for React Bootstrap, and go for the first one. This is going to offer us a bit of documentation. Go to getting started. In the introduction, we are going to get the npm installation we require to use it. If you haven't used any time, Bootstrap is just like a library which is going to contain a lot of already built-in CSS and HTML components for React. And you need to npm install this one, copy the scripts and go into the public index.html and paste it right here. You're going to need to copy this link and paste it right here the same. This should be enough. Okay, now we can use the bootstrap. So let's go into the out, and here we're going to have a section. So a section which is going to have a class. Let's call it class name main page. On this section it's going to have a div which is going to contain the container where we are going to add our login or register, and this is going to be like a bit of style. I would like to give a width of 100%, a height of 100%, and a position of relative. Okay, so this is going to be the page. I want to offer it a class name. So because we are using Bootstrap, React Bootstrap, we have some built-in classes. So we can say class name deflex, align item center, justify content center, and flex column. Deflex, align item center, and justify content center is going to center the elements from this div, and flex column is going to center them in a column manner. Okay. After this is done, we are going to have a container, and in this container, again, I'm going to add the same class name. So deflex, align item center, justify content center, a column, and a class name login, and a variable, but this I'm going to delete this for a second. So we are going to have the login one and a bit of style the same. So let me just enter this one and add the style and enter it again. So in the style we are going to add the position of absolute, a background image. You can just copy it or write it with 30%, height 90%, and a bit of box shadow. Okay. The back shadow is just going to add a bit of shadow on the container. And we are going to have a row. So the container is just like a div, okay? And we are going to have a row with the class name row sign in, which is going to have a strong paragraph sign in. Okay. Let's leave it like this for the moment. I just want to make the imports. So we need to say import container row from React Bootstrap, and down let's export the out, so we can use it right here. So we need to import it. Okay, you can see that I imported it right here, and let's see what we got for the moment. So let's hit npm start. It's going to open up the development server. It's just going to be a regular login. Okay, and if we go to dash out, we can see the component. So it's out, which is rendering the out one, and we can really see it. Let me just open the console, click on the picker, and to see the body and the div. So we have the section main page, but I need to add some style to the class. So if you remember, our section is having the class name main page, but it's too little. So we need to make it as big as the screen. So to do that, we are going to go into the app.css and add a bit of styling. So I'm just going to paste it right here. So width and the height of view, 100 view width and 100 view height. So this means that it's going to be as big as the page. A background, a position of relative, overflow y. X is going to mean that we cannot scroll down or right and left. Okay, and we can see, let me just recap a bit. So we have the section, so the whole, which is the whole page, okay? And the div, I think that we can delete this one. Let's add the class name deflex, align item center, and justify content center right here. And so right, you can see this align it everything into the center. So we have the section, which is having the built-in classes from Bootstrap. This is just going to center everything from the section elements, so everything inside it. And the main page CSS, which is saying that this should be, so the section is the whole page. It's as big as possible, and it's having this background. So if I change this one, you can see that the background changed it. So that's the section part, and the container is this container. Okay, it's this container, which is 30% width of the parent, so the section. So you can see that it's just only around 30% and 90% of the height. So you can see that it's not as big as the page into the height. And it's having a row, this one. This is a row right here, which is having the text sign in a strong. Okay, now we are going to add the form. So let's just say form and the form group. So the first form group is going to say email address and the for control where we can add the email address. You need to import this one too. Let's add right here form and row and form group and container. Okay, so you can see the form label, which is saying email address, and the for control, which is saying placeholder name example.com. The label, let's make it white so we can see it. So the style of color white, and you can see it right here. Okay, another form group. So the label and the input is going to be added into a form group. The other one is going to be for the password. Let's just copy, add the color of white right here, and another form group which is going to have the buttons. So the login and sign up. I want to delete the on click. Let me show you the CSS. So another form group, the built-in class, so we can align everything into a column way. So this is aligning everything into a column way. So like this. We can add a width. I don't want border for the button. I want the background of red, the color of white, and the font width of bold. So the text inside is going to be more border. And again, the built-in class, which is going to align the text inside the button. And empty5, which is going to add a bit of margin top. It's going to push it a bit down. So we need to import the button too. If you get lost, you're going to have the GitHub repo into the description. Okay. If you want to explain a bit so if we delete the deflex, let me delete from the buttons the flex column as an example. You can see that they are not in a column way. If we put it back, they are aligned at center into a column way. Okay, so this form group, it's aligning the elements, so the two buttons, into a column way and centering them. So align item center, justify content center into a column way. Okay, that's the first one. And we added for the container, I should have a position of absolute somewhere like this right here, and I'm going to show you right now why I'm adding it. Let me just delete it. So we have the sign in and we want to have the register too. So we are going to copy everything again and paste it down like this. So we have two of them, but the other one, let me see, it's going to have the same style, but it's going to say sign up. In change, we are going to still have the email address, but two passwords. So let's just copy this one again and say re-enter password. The button that is going to say register, and one for sign in. Okay, but we have to, so we have the login one and the register one, and I want the login to be about this one. So this should be behind the login. And how we are going to say do this? Well, we need to make this a position of absolute. Right now they are relative by default, so they care about each other. But if we make this one absolute, it's not going to give a fuck about this one, so it can stay on the top of the right one. So if we add the position of absolute to this one, you can see that now it's on the other one because it doesn't care about the other one, but the register is still here but behind it. Okay, the next step is going to be that we are going to click the sign up. This is going to disappear and the one from behind it is going to appear. So we are going to do this. Well, we are going to create another class, focus and unfocus. So focus z, which is going to offer a z index of 5, and unfocus a 0. So the one with the bigger index is going to stay on top of the other one. Okay, let's go to the login out, and we are going to have a state. So login set login, this is going to be true. We need to import the state, and into the class you can see that we added this little commas. I don't even know how to call them. They are I don't know how to call them, but you can see them. So we can add the $sign and brackets, and inside the brackets we're going to say something like if login is true, then this container is going to have the class focus, else it's going to have the class unfocus. So the login is true. This is going to offer this container the class focus, and if it's false, you can see save. If it's false, it's going to give it the unfocus one, and on the unfocus we can just say a z index of -1. I think that the default is 0 or 1. So you can see that now the sign up, it's on the top. So if I add true, this one is going to be true. So the first container is going to have the class focus, which is going to give a high index. Okay, so it's going to be on the top of the other one. If we give it false one is going to be behind it because it's having a negative index. Okay, so let's leave it true and let's change it. So when we are clicking sign up and click, we want to set login to false, so it's going to give it an unfocused class, which is going to hide it. It's going to show the other one because this one is going to have a low index. And then we are clicking here on this button on click sign in. We want to make it true, so here we are going to have true for the login, and it's going to give the first one the focus class. So now if we refresh it, we click sign up, so we click sign in and it's working. How this stuff works? Well, let's restart the page. Right now our login is true, so this container, so the login one is going to be true, so it's going to offer a focus class on this one, and the focus is going to say okay, z index of 5, which is a big z index, so it's going to be on the top of the other one. If we click the sign up, we change it to false. Sign up, we change it to false, which is going to, so here the login is going to be false, so it's going to give the unfocus class, which is going to give a z index of -1 for the login container, which is going to make it stay behind the other one. If we click sign in, it's going to reverse everything because the sign in is going to make the login again true. That's it for the moment. In the next video we are going to get the tokens. I hope you enjoyed it.